Good evening, ladies and gentle people. It is currently June 16th, 2010, and this is Day 9 Daily number 138. Oh, another gigantic number. How victorious. And I would like all of you to know that today was an awesome day because I went to E3. Look, I even have a pass, and look what it says. Sean Plott from the Day 9 Daily. Ooh, that's right. I'm press. When they say, tell me more about your organization, I say, well, I bought a $10 webcam from Micro Center. And now I have a show. And that's about it. That's really the end of that. So that went awesome. That was great. I got the chance to see all sorts of cool gadgetry. Got to see the Knights of the Old Republic trailers. That was nifty. Got to see the 3DS, which is awesome. But probably the coolest thing in the universe was I got the chance to see the new Razer equipment for Starcraft 2, and that was baller. So I'm not going to lie. I'm really liking how that tiny little mouse feels. Oh, it slides so smooth. And so that's me as a Starcraft gamer speaking. But just from a consumer perspective, they had bright, pretty lights. Oh my god, seriously. It's like putting on little bits of Vegas on your head, and it just like lights up, and it like responds to the game and lights up. Ooh, features, nifty stuff. So of course that was awesome. And big thanks to a kind gentleman who gave me admittance to E3, and of course connected me with the fine folks at Razer. So today has been pretty awesome. I came home to cold coffee though. Whatever, it's caffeine. Again, coffee not nearly as good as my apparently new favorite pharmaceutical product, Rad Prosium, but coffee will do. Yes, and today we have an extraordinary, exceptionally special guest coming on the show today. We have QXC. Are you there, QXC?
Hey, what's up, Day 9?
Oh, getting QXC in. Now, of course, before any of you get the chance for us to bounce on over to the replay and we begin talking about it, I want to introduce QXC a little bit. Now, QXC and I both, I went to Harvey Mudd. I graduated in 2008, but Kevin, a.k.a. QXC, currently is at Harvey Mudd. And of course, Harvey Mudd, I'll throw out the horns for that college, best college in the universe, so hooray us, Kevin. But also, a little bit more about Kevin's StarCraft play. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, but you went from like D to B plus on Icy Cup in something like 6 months or so?
I wish it was that good. I went from D to B in a little under a year.
That's still quite an achievement. I mean, really, the only person who I've heard rival something like that is Cole, but everyone knows that he's actually a robot that they manufactured in some lab in Germany. But anyways, for any of you who are unfamiliar with QXC's style, QXC is an extraordinarily aggressive player. He likes attacking. Now, there's always kind of I guess a little bit of misunderstanding when people hear he is an aggressive player, because it can actually be bad to attack nonstop no matter what. If any of you watched a lot of the 2000, I want to say 2005-6-ish July Zerg style, there are so many games where July was winning and he just kept attacking until he lost, and I just seriously wanted to like punch an innocent animal because I was so mad that one of my favorite players threw games away through relentless aggression. But what's interesting is that I had the chance to actually play QXC several times way back on Icy Cup. And of all people, QXC regularly experimented with weird, funky attack timings, regularly trying to bust in with just odd combinations of units. And it was kind of funny because I actually got the chance to play him several times over time. You know, the first times, some of the attacks didn't quite work out so well. But over time, there was this evolution. And as we've gotten the chance to see QXC develop in StarCraft 2, you'd see that over time, instead of just being this relentlessly attacking player, basically suiciding, QXC developed a style where he just is aggressive at all the right times and backs away all the rest of the time, which makes him really intimidating to play against, and I regularly have the delight of playing against him and getting my ass kicked, so big thanks to QXC for helping me there. But also, another thing I wanted to add in there is that with aggressive play, it does require quite a lot of practice, and you're a big mass gamer, aren't you, Kevin?
Yeah, 400 games a month on Icy Cup pretty much did what I needed it to do.
Yeah, because I mean that's one thing that I definitely noticed when trying to steal your games. Because as a commentator, I get to be the highest level of thief. Oh, does anyone have the replays for that tournament? Well, I do because I casted them. So I would try to steal QXC's games, and the difficult part about being aggressive is that there's so much little stuff that you can screw up. early Marauder attacks against Protoss. If you don't control it perfectly, it can feel like it's a bad strategy. So that's definitely something that I hope we'll get the chance to touch on today. How to do aggression properly, which is, of course, the easiest way in the world, I think, to lose a game, and why I think a lot of players generally favor passivity. So, QXC, I don't know about you, but are you ready to rock?
Oh, I'm so ready. Let's
Oh,
do this.
oh, baby, baby,
Oh,
baby.
oh,
All right, let's go
baby.
ahead and pop on over to this game. We are going to be starting. We have a replay synced in 3, 2, 1, play. So, QXC, we have you here at the bottom left position, and you are against ZTAC, more commonly known as Cats, I believe the leader of Team Root. So tell me, it's Steps of War. What's your plan going into this game? Or can you even describe a little bit of the context of what happened beforehand?
So basically, I think this is like the third or fourth game we've been playing.
Uh-huh.
I had been meching against Cats. This was just a little before beta had gone down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I felt like doing something different, something I hadn't really practiced too much.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll see me deviate. You'll never see a game like this. The opening is like a pretty standard fast expand, and from there things get a little crazy.
Uh-oh. So, looks like you're sending an SCV out. Now, what are your thoughts on walling off? I know a lot of players against Terrans and Zergs don't really Terrans and Protoss wall off less, but do you tend to against Zerg most of the time?
Yeah, pretty much the threat of a Baneling bust. Me and Cats played about 15 games in a row like a month ago,
Yeah.
just practicing timings on Baneling bust. And basically, if you don't have that wall up against a good Baneling bust, you lose. There's not a response to it.
So, like, for instance, I'm seeing this supply depot here, and I assume that you're going to do the usual wall off underneath here. But do you just plan on building more buildings behind the depots if you're suffering from a whole bunch of Baneling aggression early on?
Basically, what I do is this first scout, which is going to go out pretty soon after I make sure my SCV is safe from that drone.
Mm-hmm.
That scout is going to tell me whether or not I need to start building stuff behind my wall. And if I sense a Baneling bus is coming, I'll make a 2-layer wall, and that keeps me safe until I have 4 or 6 Hellions out, and then it's not a big deal.
Okay, awesome. Sweet. Bejugular, I dare say. In case you didn't know, I like making words up. But you met me in real life, so you know I'm a little bit kooky. But either way, so you have your scouting SCV coming up. And, I always talk a lot about deviations and proper deviations to do. You have your SCV sitting here scouting. Is there a specific time that you send this SCV up the ramp, or do you do it a little bit more by feel? I mean, you are getting the chance to see the second Overlord, so you at the very least know he's not doing some sort of fast Ling Rush.
Fast Ling Rush, not really a problem here. If I see it with that SCV, I can put a supply depot up in time, and I'm not concerned. What I'm really waiting is there's a timing where if they go pool really early, like a 10 pool, those Lings will come out. And what I don't want is my SCV to be down the ramp and get caught by those early Lings, because if they do the 10 pool, I need to see if they're going gas or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so the SCV sits there until about 15, and then at that point, I've delayed them if they wanted to go hatch first, and if they're going hatch second, I've delayed them a little bit, but it still gives me enough time. If they go 10 pool, that SCV gets up and it'll scout it, it'll see the gas, and I'll know what they're doing.
Awesome. Now, I also have to ask a little bit about roaches, because, I mean, you did get the chance to poke up. I'm clearly... I'm doing the QXC cam, and it looks like you have seen that he has a depot building and he already had a gas up. How concerned are you about roaches at this point? I mean, you do have a wall off set up, but you are getting a command center kind of early.
Because I was doing these 1-racks fast expand, you notice I don't have my gas yet.
Yeah. He took your gas. It doesn't, really matter. It's like, hey, free 25 minerals.
Yeah. Roaches, honestly, I don't really consider it as a threat just because Speedling Baneling seems much more powerful. Like, if he goes roaches, I feel like if I'm ready to deal with Speedling Baneling, I'm ready to deal with roaches.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting aspect. And
I don't know, I've never had someone go roaches on me when I'm doing this build.
Well, I cunningly have lost perhaps an important tournament game to a roach rush, but we will. We're not going to talk about that one. But either way, it looks like you are scouting up into his base. This little SCV was hiding by that Zelnaga watchtower. It looks like it's finally falling. But you're skirting around the edges, and, good opportunity to scout out some tech structures. And I also look in your main and see that you are getting a little bit earlier of a gas for 1-Rack's early expanding players. And also you only have 3 barracks. So a lot of players, when they do this, get 4 barracks or sometimes even 5. Is there a reason why you're not getting quite as many barracks? And also a reason why you're not getting the orbital command before you move out with this command center?
I haven't practiced this build. You're going to see a number of mistakes, and that's really the reason. One thing I noticed is the early gas makes it so it's too hard to get infantry and to get the bunkers you need to hold off with the Speedling Baneling. One of the notes I made to myself after I played this game was do 4 racks at bare minimum and only get that gas once I'm really secure. Like, at this point, I should probably have at least 2 bunkers up, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And you'll see I get punished pretty bad for it.
Yeah, and wow, Cats is really going crazy. I mean,